Welcome to American Dream TV. I'm Ken Abramowitz, and as always, I'll be your host for this episode of Selling the DMV. We're going to continue with our theme of outdoor places that are really cool to go to now that the weather's warm. And today we're visiting Rockland Farms Winery here in Poolesville, which is a family-friendly winery. And not only is it family-friendly, this is arguably one of the most unique wineries in the whole area. But most people don't know it's also a great place to pick up chicks. What did I just say? Did I just say something really offensive? No, I did not. And now you're going to have to watch the rest of the episode to find out why. Let's go ahead and have some fun. So we're here with Greg. He is the co-founder and CEO. Greg, I really appreciate you having us here to meet today. Give us a little history about the winery.
Yeah, so Rockland's Farm, we started this business in 2010. Sean, a roommate from college, and I started as a produce farm and pretty quickly turned into what it is now, mostly a winery. My family and I were from Montgomery County most of my life, moved out here in 2003. So from 03 to 10, it was just a little old farm that just was hoping to get some love.
Well, now look what it's become,
it's
right?
cool. Yeah.
I love your mission statement, which you basically narrowed down into 3 words: feed, nourish, engage. Share with me what's behind that, what that means.
It's really rich, full of kind of what we're all passionate about. So, by feed, we want to create something that people can physically consume and enjoy. To nourish is the quality of the product and the quality of their experience here. So they're really being nourished by what they're surrounding themselves with, what they're putting in their body and all that. And then the engage component is really to connect people with where their food comes from, who makes the food, how it becomes food, wine as well. So feed, nourish, and engage was our way to articulate what we were passionate about, of growing food that was good for people and connecting them with where it came from.
So now I'm going to need you to get me out of a little trouble that I started with my introduction, where I said this was a great place to pick up chicks. And I promised everybody that I wasn't saying anything offensive. So tell me about your chick rental program, which I find really cool.
Yeah. So we do a chick rental program a couple times a year. It started, maybe 12, 13 years ago. We were getting chicks for our meat birds. So we thought, well, why don't we just rent these out for a week? People can have the experience that they're looking for, but without the long-term commitment of a farm animal in your house. And it's turned out to be one of the best impacts to families in the area, both for younger folks and older folks. Really teaching people about how precious life is, giving them a small sense of responsibility. It's a very manageable entry into farming and farm life.
We started, kind of transitioned into being a winery in 2014, and right around that time, just to kind of pilot out our idea, because we didn't know if people were going to be buying wines, how popular it was going to be, we started making wine actually in the basement of the main house on the property. So this is actually a legitimate licensed winery. We made up to 700 cases in the basement of a house, but eventually pretty quickly outgrew that, and then now we're here in the main winery space here, so we can make about 5,500 cases, so it's a big upgrade.
My understanding is that you are the only low intervention winery in the area. Talk to me about that low intervention winery and what exactly that is.
Low intervention, so it's really just how wine was made for thousands of years, up until really the Industrial Revolution, before the consumer was demanding homogeneity, before all the chemical salesmen and the fertilizers and all that kind of thing. So we're kind of just going back to how wine used to be made a long time ago, with a handful of modern day luxuries, like occasionally we'll use temperature control. But the idea behind it is really to connect where the grapes are coming from to what's in your glass at the end of the day. And we believe that purity that comes from low intervention, so not adding things, not adding preservatives to the wine, being more attentive but a little bit more hands-off, that purity is going to translate more to this transparency between where the grapes are coming from and what's in your glass. And we find that really interesting, and above all, it needs to be delicious.
All right, well, I'm locked and loaded here. Sean, what kind of wine do we got in there?
Well, you're in for a treat, because there's really no one outside of our team that has tried this wine.
Ooh.
We haven't released this. It'll probably be another year in barrel. What we have here is a very rare grape, especially in the United States, called Saperavi. It's native to the country of Georgia. We're in a climate here that usually makes for, I think, like lighter, kind of more elegant wines, a lot of more white wines, but Saperavi, it can give, look at that color.
Wow.
It gives deep, high alcohol wines, and it's kind of an exception to the rule in this area, and it really seems like it likes the climate here. So we're really excited about the future of this grape.
This is really, really good. So I recommend everybody come up here a year from now and grab it while you can. Hope you enjoyed our visit with this really, really special winery. And I'm going to tell you, it is a beautiful day here in the Maryland, D.C. area. So I am going to stay here, kick back, and follow the 3 principles of this winery. I'm going to taste something delicious, I'm going to eat something delicious, and I'm going to ask lots of questions. Thanks again for joining me, and we'll catch you on the next one.